I'm live. Hi, Carly. Yeah, but you get to come sit in my big chair. This is half blow dried. Just got out of the shower 5 minutes ago here, so I apologize. Hello. Thanks everyone for joining. Hi, Courtney. All right, Courtney, I'm gonna pop you on in 1 second. I just want to give you a fabulous introduction because you deserve it. We are hopping on live today to talk about anxiety. Courtney Burns from Bravely Beautiful blog has been a super big proponent of being honest and authentic and real with everything that we're going through, especially now. It's really, really challenging. And so we thought together we could talk about it and share the strategies and tools that we've been using. And we've also been working on some really, really exciting things with Courtney that we are going to launch and release at the end of this live. So without further ado, the most wonderful, incredible Courtney Burns. And Michael came back.
Yeah.
And our dog.
Is it working? Yay! I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. How this works. Yeah.
Okay. Our dog is just also wants to join, so Michael's just gonna take care of that very briefly.
Yeah. Awesome. Yay! Oh my gosh, this is so fun.
I know. When literally the 10 or 15 minutes ago when you were like, oh, I just have to clean myself up. I just did a workout.
Yeah.
I was literally hopping into the shower. The last time.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm still, I literally just put my hair up. I was like, meh.
This is social isolation at its best.
Right? Everyone's just like, what should we wear? What are we doing? I don't know. Hi! Oh my gosh. Look at this. The people down here. So
I know.
cool. All right. So how are you guys?
Good. To be honest though, today and the last couple days we've been super duper feeling very heightened and very buzzy. Michael especially is not doing super well, so he might be kind of in and out of this. We're kind of focusing on that, but yeah, TBH, today I very much woke up in the middle of the afternoon and did not get out of bed until 5. So
Yeah.
that's where
what
we're
you had
at.
to do. Yeah, that's what you had to do.
What about you?
Well, yeah, it was as many people saw that I posted on my Instagram, on my personal account. I woke up and I was just so angry. Literally at the entire world today, everything was I was mad at the government. I was mad at my employers. I was literally mad at absolutely everything and anything. And I sat with it for a bit, and then I was like, you know what? I actually have to share this because I've been dancing every day, which is awesome. And I share that. But the truth is that that's not real all the time. There's so much more that is going on in all of our brains and all of our bodies, and then you have your own stuff, and it's there's no rule book for this. So I was like, I just have to share this. I'm just gonna be real and honest and put it out there and be like, it's okay. However you're feeling, it's yeah. So
Yes.
it was a hard morning, but I ended I got into my body and went and moved and stuff, and I feel better now. So.
Hey, well, good. I'm glad, and I am so glad you shared that because, like you said, that's real and that's where you're at, and I feel that too, and I'm sure you're not alone.
Yeah, it's just such crazy times. Everybody in the world, it doesn't even really matter who you talk to. Everybody's experiencing the exact same thing. I just find it so bizarre that you can be standing in one spot and know that every single person in the world is somehow on some level feeling a similar way to you. And that's I don't know, it kind of blows my mind. It's also like unity, but it's also sad and brings up a lot, right?
Does bring up a lot. But
Hmm.
that is why we're hopping on here so that you had some good stuff too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kind of turn it over to you, I think.
Okay.
A few different like strategies and tools that you use for anxiety, and we can walk them through them.
Yeah, I think it's so important, like as we talked about before, like for me personally, I struggle with anxiety and I have for a while, but I've never really been able to like, I think we talked about this, but understand what it was. And I think that's for a lot of people. They don't really know what they're feeling. They can't understand the emotions that are coming up and all these things. And then when they do, you're like, oh my God, what do I do? Like, I haven't been taught this.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, for me, like, in the, I would say in like the past year, like, I had a lot of anxiety attacks and a lot of them were around people. So, like, they were kind of able to like help, but that's not always the case. And like you have to learn these like self-regulation tools for yourself. Um, so yeah, I posted today in my on my Instagram just like some slides of like ways that we kind of do. So I'd love to hear like some of what you guys do too.
Yeah.
But yeah, one of my favorite ones is like it was one of the first ones, and it's like the up the hill, down the hill. So we teach that to kids that I work with at school, and so basically like you take your hand and you just like trace it all the way around. So it's like so it's like you're up the mountain, down the mountain, and you just like can feel your body like as you do it. It you do like your breath helps,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a good visual one too. So it kind of distracts your brain, right?
Yeah.
And you're touching and you're feeling. So I really like that one. Um, yeah.
Yeah.
What
You
about you
showed.
guys?
I take baths.
Yes. That and that's I mean that's something you can do on your own for sure if you have a
Yeah.
bathtub. Uh,
That's a good
yeah,
one. Yeah.
taking some salt baths. Just make sure that you stay hydrated, obviously, when you're doing that. But it seems to make like a world of difference. You feel
Yeah.
beat to it.
Yeah, I go full panic and then like I'm suffering like panic attacks probably 4 to 5 times a day now.
Mm,
They come like every 3 hours probably. Just so
yeah.
manic worse. But like it's just a triggering thought and I just can't get out of that thought. And then to the bath I go and relax and come back.
Yeah. And when you're like taking a bath, um, like what's going through your mind? Like are things like is it like it kind of settles?
Yeah, I think a lot of it for me is nervous pain. From like I haven't been moving much, so it's
Right.
been. I think I have a compressed disc. I don't know. It's just a lot of pain in my lower back, and it's relieved in the bath, and my back
Yeah.
gets relaxed, and I'm fine at that point. No matter if it's like core tension pain or if it's whatever pain it is, it's there for me. It really affects me every day.
Yeah.
I think it just helps to kind of like relieve and relax, right? Where you can even get to that state to do an exercise or a strategy.
Yeah. That's true. That's good because sometimes like I feel like getting into your body is one of the best ways that like anxiety is such a mind thing, right? So like when all your thoughts are going and it's like what we call them at school is unhelpful thoughts. So is that helpful or is that unhelpful? But when you're in the middle of that, like I'm sure you guys can attest to this, but when you're in the middle of that panic attack, it's like you can't like it's very hard to coach yourself and be like, is this a helpful thought, is this not a helpful thought, because then you're just going to spiral and it just keeps going and you're like a hamster. So to find something like really like,
That's perfect.
yeah, so I think that's great, like using a tool like that to
Yeah.
help.
And I think to that, like to what you just said as well, you know, once you kind of get to a heightened state, and if you weren't able to bring yourself back down, um, you could be like bawling, crying. Like usually when I'm in the middle of a panic attack, like nodding everywhere, like, on, I
Yeah.
can't just like, okay, deep breath. And so, like, we know that it's not always an easy in and out.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, so those things that you can kind of go in your head instead of having to like do the deep breath, or something super helpful. We talked about the five senses, that kind of
Mm,
one. A
yeah.
really big. Even on the internet, I've seen a lot lately. But when I first learned it, I used it for sleep. So
Mm,
for the viewers, if you aren't familiar with it, you basically start with five things and your senses. So five things that you can see, and then I do five for everything. So five things you can see, five things you can hear, five things you can physically feel, like physically touch, not emotionally,
yeah.
and things that you can smell. I think that's the last one. And obviously, there's taste, but that's
Yeah.
um, unless you're just like taste testing something.
Yeah.
Um,
Right.
and then I go down. So then I go four things, three things, two things, one thing. And while I'm laying there trying to fall asleep, I obviously don't do the five things each one, or that would defeat the purpose. But often by the time I get down to one, my thoughts have calmed so
Mm,
that I'm actually able to just focus on sleep, not like my to-do list for the next day or whatever it
right.
is.
Yeah.
Um, And that's one that you can do around people too, around people that maybe don't even know what you're going through, because it can be done in your head or you can do it out
Yeah, totally. I think those are great. Um, yeah, the sleep one's interesting. I feel like a lot of people deal with that and then they don't actually realize that it's anxiety and it's just like, oh, I just can't sleep or, whatever. But like it's common to have like, oh, the to-do list in my head and it's like, well, that is a form of anxiety. Like to have that like in your thoughts in your mind, like you're having anxious thoughts about something that isn't in the present moment. It's actually in the future. So it doesn't even really exist yet. But you get stuck in that space. So yeah, those are really good ones. I like those. I actually might try those when I go to sleep. Yeah.
of it.
Yeah.
I wanted to kind of touch on like the sleep thing too, because that's something that I struggle with regardless of the pandemic in the world. But I know a ton of people that we've been talking to, including Michael, who could sleep through like a tornado. Um,
Hmm.
can't sleep. Like people are having trouble sleeping. Mom is having trouble sleeping. Like our friends
Yeah.
were feeling it all over the place. And first of all, I want to say that is normal.
Yeah.
Okay, that is valid. But it sucks, and we get it. And that,
Hmm.
like you said, be a really big cause of the anxious feelings that you're getting. Because often for me, when I can't sleep, it's just this unsettling feeling, right? Like I'm constantly, I feel like I have to go, I feel like I have to do something, or I feel like I'm missing out on something, especially
Mm,
on in the world. That's a huge contributing factor is, am I going to stay on top of it? Am I miss out on something? Those kind of things. And that's
yeah.
normal. So there are obviously techniques that you can do to fall asleep. One of them is that 5 4 3 2 1. We use it all the time. I had something written down that was a good one for sleep. You don't, it's not yours.
No,
Um,
I just passed.
yeah, you don't. But also, like, I think it's honoring that too, and
Yeah.
not getting mad at yourself, not
That's a
falling,
big one.
yeah,
Hmm. That's a big
not
one.
comparing yourself when maybe you woke up at 11, 12, 5, whatever,
Yeah.
and just, yeah, like really honoring where I think that's been a big difference these last few days with me in my sleep is um, I'm okay with how my body is figuring it out.
Mhm.
Uh, and I don't feel pressured, I guess, which is kind of nice. Uh,
Yeah.
and that's kind of made that relationship feel a lot better. Where did
Yeah.
I had a booklet? Oh,
Well, that's, you know what? I was gonna kind of say that kind of loops into like the routine. I posted one of the other slides was a routine, and I said on it that works for you. And like obviously in our everyday lives, there is times where like we don't get to pick our own routines and we don't get to pick our own schedules, and like sometimes like your body needs something that your schedule doesn't allow for, and that actually happens like multiple times in a row sometimes. And then it's like you're back and you're like, I'm just drained, I'm exhausted, and I don't know why. And that can cause anxiety. And then when we kind of think about it now, like tying it into what's going on, it's like now we're given this time, a lot of people, and it's like maybe like this is a time where you get to figure out what that routine looks like for you. And nobody knows what tomorrow is going to bring. So maybe it's allowing your body to sleep until 12 o'clock, or like, I don't know, maybe it's staying up later and getting up later, or maybe, like our bodies change in different rhythms and with the seasons and all this stuff. And I think it's so important to have a routine that actually like works for you as an individual. And I'm like praying that from this, whatever this is that's going on, somehow that's going to be something that we actually like are given in our lives.
yeah,
So fingers crossed.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Routine is a big one. What else were on your slide?
So another one was I put meditate,
Mm,
move your body. So meditation is hard, and I will say like putting that one down there, sometimes that causes people anxiety because they think it's hard to sit there and clear the thoughts out of your mind.
yeah.
And I'm still new to meditation, but I've found like every morning I get up now and that's one of the things that I do. And it's not perfect. Like there's days where I lay there and it's like boom, boom, like racing thoughts all the time, or what they call the monkey mind. And like, yeah, it just depends on the day. But I almost find that like when I do meditate, I feel like I have more time in the day. And I feel like it's almost like I'm coming at things with a different lens and a new perspective. Like it's not so rushed, or it's not like anxiety. Like you're not like
You're
you're
just
kind of like okay, like you know.
yes.
So it is a curve to get to that point, I think, of like being able to do that. But it is helpful. And then like with the movement as well, like for me, that's something that I need, and I know that my body needs that, because if I go a certain amount of days without movement, then I'm up here and I'm not in my body, I'm up here. So yeah, that's been a really big one. I don't know.
Yeah,
Mhm.
especially now. Um,
Yeah.
what does because when we say meditate or meditation, I feel like a stereotype kind of pops into some people's head, or really confusion. So could you maybe kind of walk through like what meditation actually looks like or means to you?
Yeah, that's a good question actually. Because you're right. I feel like a lot of people think of it like, oh, you're sitting on your pillow in the middle of the carpet or middle of the floor, like, ah. And it can look like that. And there's times where I sit there and that's what I do. But I think what a lot of people don't realize is that meditation to me is like when you are just like in a zone. So when I'm writing and I'm writing all those things, that's meditation. Like I'm not it's like I'm in a calm space, my body is calm, and it's just something's just flowing. So that could look like a creative activity, or going for a run or a walk, or for some people it's cooking. So it's kind of like an active meditation. You're doing something that you really like and that you enjoy, but it's different than the like typical I'm gonna sit on my floor and namaste, you know? So yeah.
Yeah, I feel that when I'm baking. Like I just totally, I don't know what, I don't even consciously try to like forget things or cross things off my list or anything. I just, when I'm in it, that's all I'm focused on. And that's
Yeah.
obviously something that works for me. And, running or movement is something that works for you. And I think that's key is that you have to kind of keep trying things
You
to,
have to know how to express it somatically.
yeah,
Yeah.
to,
Yeah. That's true. And to have like a creative outlet, I think for me, like that's when I started writing. I obviously had like a lot of deep emotions that were like being held inside. And that when emotions are stuck in, I said this to my friend today, it was like, she said emotions need motion. And really, emotions are energy in motion. That was kind of a tongue twister, but like
good.
energy is or emotions are energy in motion, and you have to get them out some way, because if they sit inside of you, like they'll manifest into certain things. It can be health concerns, it can be whatever. Emotions are really powerful, and so for me that was like I realized that with all these thoughts and all these like feelings that I have inside of me, that causes me anxiety. So to get them out on paper and to just write, like write everything. It's
Yeah.
like a release, like something's just being like from me. So I think having a creative outlet is like a really good idea too.
Yeah. And I think that like the putting, I mean, you do probably a lot of online. I don't know. Do you do any like actual journaling?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that was one thing that my counselor really made me realize was how much different of a process it is for your brain, your mind, whatever it is, to actually pen to paper something,
Yeah.
not just like write in your notes, because that's what I would kind of do. That was my go-to, right? I was on my phone, something in there, and there's nothing wrong with that. It is such a different feeling to have a piece of paper and a pen and just write.
Yep.
Um,
It
I've been
is.
doing.
It's do you do that? You do that every day?
I have been for the past like week. Yeah, is actually writing it out, and I find that um, I don't have an intention really or anything. I just kind of start writing, and yeah, I don't even know what I'm writing half the time. I don't even know if I'm the one controlling the pen half the time. You know what I mean? Like that. Yeah, that's a meditative state too, I guess,
It
right?
totally is. And when you can like, so there's I can't remember the word for it right now, but basically it's like you literally just clear your mind. I think it's oh, I can't remember right now. But basically you're just clearing your mind, and whatever comes, you just let it. And it is meditation. And it's almost like someone else is taking your hand and you're just doing it. And like then when you go and read it back, often it's like, whoa. What was going on there, and you're right, it feels so much like it just feels different than as opposed to like on your phone.
Yeah.
So I think it's a great tool, and for anybody who wants to try it, like stream of consciousness, whoever just put that, yes, that's like amazing. I
Yeah,
think that's yeah, it's just a stream of consciousness running through you. So yeah.
that's awesome.
Hmm.
Um, One thing
You
too,
would say that a lot of music artists, I think,
yeah,
have a lot of stream of consciousness.
yeah, totally. Um, and I think that's also another big thing is you don't have to be a writer, right, or
No.
journal. You don't
Mhm.
have to be a perfect musician to strum on the guitar,
Yeah.
be a perfect singer to, those kind of things. Don't,
Yeah.
it's just whatever is going to work for you. That was one thing you're like writing things down and not even really realizing. Also, another thing while I'm sleeping, trying to sleep. Um, Actually, my massage therapist shared this tip with me was if you get a pad of paper and a pen and put it beside your bed, and when those things are coming up, right? Don't even open your eyes. Just grab that pen, writing the things down, and commit to yourself that you will deal with it or whatever
Yeah.
it is. I really like that. Because again, it's just like putting it out there and letting it go.
Yeah, that's so true. It's releasing from your body. And like with anything, like anxiety, like, obviously that's what we're talking about, but any emotion that you feel, if like better out than in. That's the way that I kind of like to think about it. And obviously it's hard to get to that point. So like Bravely Beautiful, for example, it's like Bravely Beautiful I started that with that name because it's brave and it's beautiful to actually express your feelings and to actually like let them out of your body. But we've been told that that's not okay for a really long time. And really, like, it should come out. That's how we connect. That's how we see one another on different levels. And like, nobody should have to feel like they have to keep things inside of like whatever's hurting you inside of you. You don't have to keep it inside. Like, it's okay to say it. So I know everybody gets there at different times, and that's okay too. But I just wanted to say that.
For sure. Were there any other slides that you want to
Maybe the phone a friend or support system. Like, yeah, you guys probably hear like a lot about that in your community. I don't know if there's like people who come to you that say like, oh, we don't have someone, or, you're really good at finding these groups for people to go to. But I think even right now, like, we're all in social isolation and the tool of connection that we have is our screens. And like, it's mind-blowing. It's amazing, but it's like this thing that's been invented that we've been told to move away from, and like, oh, like, put your phone down, blah blah blah. It's like, that's what we have right now. And that's our support system for everything that we're feeling. So to be able to pick it up and just call somebody and be like, look, like, I'm feeling whatever way right now, is pretty powerful. And I think it's really important to find those people. So yeah.
A lot of reconnection for me with like extended family. Back to my dad's just makes everything to me.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, it's something, to be honest, I don't call that extended family ever.
Yeah.
I don't call it really.
Has that just happened recently?
Yeah. And like I've been calling my dads for the past 3-4 weeks, I'd say. Like, just us, like, why not?
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, and I mean, they love to talk, so they're honored to have him phone whenever he can. Yeah, it does make a difference, and
it definitely opens up my eyes. I can say that. My dad grew up in 1930, so right into the Depression, right to World War II as a teenager. I'm like talking about this stuff, and she's like, she feels more scared right now than she did as a teenager in World War II.
Oh.
God,
Yeah. Well, you know what though? You're right. It's like, they're literally like, this is crazy that we're like living through this, and like like literally no one knows what is going on, and that's like, yeah, it's for everyone in the world. Like, it's just insane, like what I said before. So to have people like lived through stuff like say that, it's kind of like, it's a pandemic. It's serious, and like, it's gonna bring up so much for so many different people. I love that you guys are like able to reconnect, because I think that's such a positive of the situation. But
never answered twice, so I was mad.
she's not used to it.
No, she's busy too. Like, it's really weird how like my dad just like worked till she was 85, and then the only thing that stopped her was a broken hip. So it makes he must be going like, he must be fine. He's been doing a social isolation thing for the past 10.
Yeah.
Baking and cooking up a storm. We don't
Yeah.
even know.
Right?
Everyone
I
is sent the mail for sure.
So much food over there. All the grandparents have so much food. They're just baking all the time.
Oh, we went there. We went there last summer, and like, yeah, just bacon plate after bacon plate. Yeah,
She cooked me a half a pack of bacon every morning. Like, bless her heart.
yeah.
But I now have high cholesterol.
Yeah. That's so funny. Oh my gosh, so cute.
That's one thing though that made me think of a few grounding techniques that I like to use when I'm feeling anxious. I've like very often dissociate and disconnect. So kind of for people who don't really know what that looks like or is, sometimes what can happen is your anxiety gets so high and you get so hyper aroused that you kind of turn it off, totally take your body, your mind outside while the alarm is still going, there's still all that anxiety, but I'm kind of like taken out of the situation, which isn't a great way to cope.
Yeah.
Basically, what ends up happening is I've gotten so high that I come back down, and I'm now at this place of like and disconnect. I'm very disoriented and dissociated. Not right now. Right now, I'm good. But that does happen really frequently with my anxiety, and so what I've been working on with my counselor are a few grounding techniques that I can do by myself. And one of them is super duper simple. It's literally like if you go across your arms, but grab your forearms and just squeeze.
Mm.
And it's you, so it kind of feels nice, like self-compassion, like caring for yourself.
Yeah. I like that.
That pressure, right?
Yeah.
And
Neuroscience in that too.
you can do it with your eyes closed. You can do it with your eyes open. You can, like, sometimes I'll pull or I'll hold for a bit,
Mm.
and then to also like feel the sensation after I've done that. Like I can still feel there's something there, right? Like I can
Yeah. That's
something.
a really good one. I like that.
Yeah, it's super simple.
Yeah, it is really simple. That's the thing, hey, like they don't have to be overcomplicated. Aww.
This is Lucy. Yeah.
Lucy. So cute. I like her in the dance video.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
Ah, he is also great for anxiety.
Yeah.
That's the key. Any other anxiety tips that you wanted to share?
Yeah, I think like I just wanted to maybe say as well that like during this time, I know I've said it already, but we're all heightened. I notice, like, I don't want to generalize this, but I notice a lot of, like, I'm going to say millennials. There are other generations of people who fit into this category, but maybe because we're a little bit more open, I notice that a lot of us struggle with mental health, anxiety, lots of different feelings, and we're almost, I'm going to use the word hypersensitive, and that's okay. Like, I think that that's kind of like part of why we're here. And I just think it's really important to let people know that like this time is going to be really tough for some people, especially people who feel that way. And nobody knows the right thing to do. Nobody knows exactly the right thing to say. But wherever you're at, like just let it in. Let it in and then let it out. Like almost like it's the waves, right? Like just like the waves in the ocean, like let them come and let them go. And like that's going to look different every single day. It might look different every hour, but yeah, we're just doing the best we can with what we have. And like we're all in this together. So yeah. Yeah.
Well, I think now is as good a time as any to announce what we've been holding so close to our hearts uh, even before this whole shindig happened. Um, what were you saying?
No, I'm moving away.
Uh, Courtney came into our lives at a very beautiful time, and we just immediately felt the connection and vibe and empowerment from you and everything that you do. And it was basically a no-brainer to create exclusive little collection for one of our fave bloggers.
Yeah.
Without further ado, I'm going to share with you. I'm going to share with you Courtney's new collection, the Bravely Beautiful collection.
So exciting. Oh my gosh. Looks so good.
So this is a hoodie, obviously.
Yes.
It is made in Canada. This is Canada-made apparel. We're so excited about
Nice.
this with you, Courtney. And it's super lightweight, so it's perfect for spring. Those hikes, maybe once we can get out and have some bonfires or two. And all proceeds are going to the 1 million campaign to help fund counseling sessions across Canada. So
Yay!
I will keep showing you. There's a couple colors, and then we've got some exciting details about the one too. So because we love Courtney and our followers and her so much, the first 30 orders are 30% off and free shipping. And we're going to have some personalized decals and pretty much just give you a whole lot of love. So if you head to our website, if you have to jump off this live to head to our website, I will not be fun.
Yeah.
And all you have to do to get free shipping is just local pickup on your checkout, and we'll make sure that we get it shipped out to you. So there's this light gray, which is awesome. It doesn't really have yellow light, but the light gray.
It's really nice. Yeah.
And then the black, which I think is so, and I feel
The
like
black
wear.
is so nice.
Yes, with the purple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're so bravely beautiful.
They are bravely beautiful, aren't they?
I had to do that.
Oh my god. Yes. So go shop Courtney's collection. Go make sure that you check out her blog. She wrote an amazing, amazing Bravely Beautiful blog and what it means to be bravely beautiful. So make sure you go check that out at uscollective.ca. We'll make sure, I don't know if we have yet, but send you a link. So hopefully you
Yeah.
can her site as well. And
Awesome.
feel brave today and all
Yeah.
days today to feel brave. So
And just like know that no matter like just sitting there and choosing to feel in any way, shape, or form, you are brave.
whether you let it in, let it out, sleep all day, wake up all day, whatever it is.
You're here on this earth right now, you're brave.
Yeah. Yes, you are. So yeah, you should go check out that blog and check out our new goods. I'm so excited. We definitely did think about this and had a few conversations about whether this was the right time and if we should keep going through with it. And Courtney and I and Michael decided that, you know what, now is the perfect time because we all need to be reminded of just how brave we are
Yeah.
and how boldly and vulnerably we can live through life. So thank you for opportunity to share and create this collection with me.
Yay! So excited!
So typically this is kind of a soft launch. We're hoping to get to Courtney and get some photos done with her by the beautiful beach in Vancouver.
Yeah.
But until then, yeah, make sure you go check it out. Again, made in Canada. I'm super stoked about that. This collection is.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Matt, before we sign off, would you like to do some gratefuls?
Yes! Let's do it.
You want to come in for them or no?
I can run from here.
Okay, Courtney, you start us out. What is one thing you're grateful for today?
Okay, what am I grateful for today? honestly, I'm grateful for obviously all of this. Like, this is such a celebration of something, but on a simpler note, I was really grateful that to feel the sun on my face today.
Yes, that is
Yeah.
nice. I'm grateful for this call. That we got to come on here and talk with you and hopefully be a source of some sort of help or inspiration to people. You know, we're all going through stuff. So
Yeah.
thank you for
Well
giving
said.
us
Yeah, that was awesome. So much fun. I'm glad I figured it out. I was like, I don't know how to do this.
Do you want you gotta come
Grateful
here.
for Lucy eating the food.
Can you hear him?
He said he's grateful for Lucy eating his food. Is that what he said?
Eating her food, but yes.
Oh,
She also gets really bad anxiety, so if we don't eat or take a long time, we'll eat. Okay, what's one more? We'll do two more. So what's one more thing you're grateful for?
okay. I'm grateful for everyone who reached out today when I posted those like things today about how I was feeling like not good. A lot of people messaged me and they had said that they were feeling really similar. So I'm so grateful for those people and the fact that they could be vulnerable back with me. So yeah, that was really special.
That is really special. I like that a lot. I'm grateful. We got some rain yesterday, and honestly, I'm pretty grateful for that. I
Yeah.
love that smell and like that spring in the air. So I'm grateful for it today.
Yeah,
told you-
love it.
I'm grateful for somatic energy.
There you go.
Somatic energy, is that what he said?
Yeah.
Oh, I kind of like that. I might look that up.
Yeah, get in
Get
there.
lost in the YouTube.
Well,
hole.
that's
Yeah.
incredible. Okay, one more. What is your final grateful for?
Final grateful. I am okay. I'm gonna do this. I'm grateful I have toilet paper.
Yeah, good for you. We don't. For you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I would give you some.
It's okay. It's okay. We've had more than enough people reach out to us, which is really freaking cool. Yeah.
Oh,
Michael,
so
I sent
amazing.
my to go get toilet paper and eggs, and he came back with some jammies. He was like, just in case we need to like wash these and some mushrooms and fresh herbs. So if you're wondering how quarantine is going,
That's yeah. No eggs, no toilet paper. We got mushrooms and fresh herbs. So
yeah,
so good.
so that was a good meal. Okay. You know what? I'm grateful for Michael because I've had him through this, and that has been a world of difference. So thank you, babe. What's your final?
For grandparents.
That's nice. Yeah.
We're lucky to have one.
Yeah.
Well, some of them.
Yeah. Those little things too right now. Like I think it's just so important that we like I don't know. It's just so yeah, they're different. We're looking at things differently. Our perspectives are totally changing.
Yeah, they are. In a good way, I hope.
Yep.
Well, amazing. We won't take up too much more of your time, guys, but so much for hopping on the call. Hopefully you can go grab some Bravely Beautiful flag on yourcollective.ca. Again, all proceeds million campaign on 1 million counseling sessions in Canada. Thank you, Courtney, so
Yay! Thanks, guys. That was awesome.
yes, absolutely. And for sharing all your anxiety tips. She has a whole slide deck on her Instagram, so make sure to go check it out if you need to jog your memory or remember some of those. Make sure to share what you're grateful for, either with us or your friends, your family, your dog, whoever it may be, and we'll see you for tomorrow's Gratefuls. Bye, Courtney.
Awesome. Okay, bye. See ya.
Yeah.